I can hear something now.
Miss Sino, can you hear me?
Very faintly.
What
Hold
about right
on
now?
1 second here. Here I am.
Can you hear me right now?
Very. Hold on. I think you might be. Oh, wait a second. Wait 1 second.
Go for it.
Hi, can you talk now?
Hello, Mr. Sino. Can you hear me? Loud and clear. Perfect.
Loud and clear now. Loud and clear.
All right, good.
See.
Glad to hear that that is working fine. Awesome.
This is working nicely. Yeah. Pretty cool. Me?
Yeah.
Yes. I can hear you in a truck. Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'll hang out for a little bit.
Thank you, Mr.
Sounds
Sino.
fantastic.
Yes, I can. Sorry, I'm talking with Jake. My bad, my bad. After all the tech things today, I don't think we needed another one. Thank you. Thank you. One person you don't have, Jake, is his name's Jacob Reyes. He's going to be wrestling 120 for Sterling today. 120 for Sterling. Reyes. I don't think you have him on this. The Thomas Fitzgerald kid is hurt. So if Sterling wins, which I think they are, they're going to start at 190.
Well, I mean, that's what it looks like right now.
190.
I am going to.
Oh, 120. Yep, Jacob Reyes, Reyes. Yeah, it's going to be Kenny. Oh, sorry. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sterling Channel 19 as we are here for some senior night between your Sterling Silver Knights and the Haddon Heights Garnets. And I'm going to cut away, and we're going to give the mic to Mr. Kierzanowski.
Connor Fulton is escorted by mom Ann Fulton and father Gregory Fulton. Part of Sterling High School Wrestling first years. Enjoys lifting and working out. Plans going to Rowan as a chem major. Next up, we got Noah Harker, part of Sterling High School Wrestling first years. Upon graduation, plans on going into the Army. Next up, we have Eddie Sears, escorted by mom Damian Sears and father Eddie Sears. Part of Sterling High School Wrestling program for the last 2 years. Enjoys playing football, considering 4 schools and plans on playing football in college. Next up, Jaden Farrier, escorted by dad Wayne Farrier and mom Mary Jo Farrier, part of Sterling Wrestling program for the past 3 years. Derek Edwards, escorted by mom Jessica Martinez and sister Sarah Edwards, part of Sterling High School Wrestling program for the past 4 years. Derek enjoys hanging out with friends and upon graduation plans on joining the Marine Corps. Joseph Rogers, escorted by mom Shani Rogers, part of the Sterling High School Wrestling program for the past 3 years. Joe enjoys hanging out with friends and upon graduation, plans on going to either college or joining the Marines. Anthony Gogolski, escorted by mom Rosemary Piano. And his dad. Part of Sterling High School's wrestling program for the past 3 years, enjoys singing at pep rallies. Did a heck of a job. I enjoyed it. And he plans on attending Rutgers Camden and playing baseball. John Beasley, escorted by Mom Kelly McBride and Father John Beasley, part of Sterling High School's wrestling program for the past 4 years, loves anything outdoors, and upon graduation plans on joining the Marines. Callie Winters, escorted by Mom Lisa Winters and Dad Mark Winters, part of Sterling High School wrestling program for 4 years, enjoys taking pictures and plans on attending either Widener University or Rider University. And Kenneth McCardle, escorted by Mom Teresa McCardle, Dad Ryan McCardle, and brother Pete McCardle. Part of the Sterling High School wrestling program for the past 4 years, enjoys playing the guitar, and upon graduation plans on attending either West Virginia University or the University of Delaware.
Sterling High School Channel 19, winner of the National Emmy Award for the Best Live Game Broadcast.
You're watching Sterling High School Channel 19, serving Hynella, Laurel Springs, Magnolia, Summerdale, and Stratford.
For the first time since 1971, Sterling is South Jersey champ.
Went on to become the New Jersey Tournament of Champions winner. South Jersey's never won it before. So the Sterling Lady Knights and that string sing. South Jersey is well represented now.
Sterling is going to the championship game.
Looks like he's fouled there. Put up a desperation shot, and there he goes. It's good! It's good!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sterling Channel 19, and we are happy to bring you boys wrestling here for this senior night between your Sterling Silver Knights and the Haddon Heights Garnets. Sterling having a great season this year, sitting at an even 500 both overall and in the division, sitting at a 7-7 overall record, 2-2 in the division, and then Haddon Heights sitting at 6-9 overall and 1-1 in the division. So taking a look at the Colonial Patriots standings, Collingswood on top this year having a great year as a program, 16-4 overall, 5-0 in the division. And then the Haddon Township Hawks sitting at 5-11 overall, though having a great time in the division, sitting at 2-1. And then your Sterling Silver Knights, 7-7 overall, 2-2 in the division. The Haddon Heights Garnet sitting at 6-9, 1-1 in the division. So a big match today between two rival schools, and then the Gateway Gators sitting at 3-10 overall, 1-3 in the division, and then Lindenwold sitting at 3-10 and 0-4. Let's take a look at the two teams, comparing both of these teams. Sterling sitting at 7-7, Haddon Heights sitting at 6-9. Sterling third in the Colonial Patriot, while Haddon Heights is fourth. Sterling's offense averaging 39 points per match, while Haddon Heights only getting 35, and defense for Sterling sitting at a 38 points per match rate, while Haddon Heights allows around 40. And for Sterling, some of the key wrestlers tonight, Joe Carter wrestling at the 132 weight class is going 13-8 this year. Great year for the junior. Rene Camacho at the sophomore year is wrestling at 165, going 12-6. Anthony Gogolski wrestling at 175, someone we saw in that senior ceremony. He is 9-3 on the year. And then Kenny McCardle wrestling at 190, a senior, 14-3. And then on the Haddon Heights side of things, Anio Napolitano sitting at the 106 weight class, 11-4 overall. And then we have Michael Ferraro sitting at the 113 weight class, 16-6 overall. Joel Martinez sitting at the 215 weight class, 10-6 overall. And then Nathan Leolinonis sitting at the 285 weight class, 16-3 overall. So I'm going to step aside here for just a moment and let the wrestlers introduce themselves.
Declan Winters, sophomore, 150, Laurel Springs.
Anthony Gogolski, senior, 175, 190, Laurel Springs.
Kenny McCardle, senior, 190, 215, Laurel Springs.
Liam Crawford, sophomore, 215, Laurel Springs.
Desi Mullen, freshman, Summerdale, heavyweight.
Ryan Please, freshman, 106, Stratford.
Rene Camacho, sophomore, 175, 165, Laurel Springs.
John Beasley, senior, 157 and 165, Stratford.
Thomas Fitzgerald, freshman, 120, Clayton.
Joseph Rogers, senior, 126, Stratford.
Jaden Ferrier, senior, 175, Summerdale.
Victor Romano, sophomore, 157, Stratford.
Chris Galucci, freshman, 113, Stratford.
Joel Small, junior, 144, Summerdale.
Joseph Carter, junior, 132, Magnolia.
Rafael Sanchez, freshman, 138, Stratford.
Deborah Amon, sophomore, 120, Stratford.
Lily Stevenson, freshman, 120, Laurel Springs.
Maddie Hickman, senior, 165, Stratford.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here to Sterling Channel 19, and we're just getting things ready as the players are introducing themselves. We're going to introduce ourselves here at the broadcast table. I'm Daniel Lincoln, joined by Rowan student Jay Clark and former wrestling coach Will O'Donnell. Guys, how you feeling about the match today?
Well, Dan, I mean, two young programs coming in to this match, and they're floating right around each other in the Colonial Liberty, so it should be, or excuse me, the Colonial Patriot, but it should be a good matchup between two young teams, and here a great way to honor their seniors for Sterling on senior night.
Yeah, it's going to be a great hard-fought match. Good matchups tonight. Everybody's pretty even, so whoever stays off their back and whoever can get pinned is going to we're going to come out on top.
Now, Sterling, I mean, very juiced up for this match. I mean, obviously, it's their senior night, and it means a little different for some of these seniors, especially that man in the middle right there, Kenny McCardle. A great year this year, Jake, 14-3, and just dominance at the 190 weight class.
Yeah, he won his last match by pin against Pennsville. I believe that match was a quad on a Saturday, and then placed first at the Clayton Clipper Classic. 6 wins by pin this year. And Will, Coach, you're talking about going out, getting pins. McCardle, 6 of his 14 by the pinfall.
Yeah, it's very important. You know, that's how you get the most team points. Get out there, put them on the back, hold them down there, get 6 points for your team. It helps with the momentum and helps get everybody moving.
So it looks like we're just around ready here at the castle. Both teams meeting in the middle here for the usual coin toss. Definitely will be a good one, as Jake mentioned. Great Colonial Patriot matchup. Again, these two teams neck and neck in the Patriot. Sterling one ahead of Haddon Heights, but not by much. Sterling had a 2-2 record in the division. Heights only had a 1-1. And again, Heights sitting at a 6-9 overall.
So big news with that coin toss is you get to pick odd or even. So that's where you come out first. So if you're looking for matchups or certain wrestler wrestles a certain person, you want to call odd or even. So if they send a person out, we can send another person out. It's a big matchup thing. You can move guys around. So it's just a good way to it's kind of like getting the last call or the last draw. And like
now wrestling 190 for Sterling, Jaden Ferrier.
So Jaden Ferrier, a senior for Sterling, wrestling at the 190 weight class.
Yeah, yes.
For Haddon Heights, Joel Martinez.
So now wrestling at the 190 class, it's going to be Ferrier versus Martinez. Ferrier, one of the seniors honored in that senior ceremony. And Martinez for the Garnets. That'll be Joel Martinez. And Ferrier looking for an early takedown here. It's a good job right there by Joel Martinez to get the 3 points there for the takedown.
And I mean, Martinez, a great wrestler for the Haddon Heights Garnets. He's 10-6 as a junior. He's an 8-match winning streak entering tonight. But you like Ferrier being aggressive early, just unable to get the takedown.
Right, this is a match where Sterling is thinking that Jaden Ferrier can kind of stay off his back, save some team points here. So they're sending him out. They to try to wrestle one of their better wrestlers, but Jaden's a really tough wrestler. He fights the whole time. Right now he just should be a full Nelson, so Jaden's going to pick up a point here. That was an illegal move. So Jaden gets a point, gets a fresh start. So his job now is try to get off bottom. Haddon Heights lets him go, so now he gets another point for being neutral, and we're right back on our feet. So you can keep hand fighting here, staying in good position, sprawling, cross-facing, and just his job is staying in good position here and not taking down as much.
So again, Ferrier, not someone who wrestles much on the varsity level, kind of spent most of his time in JV this year, but is a senior. So Dez likes his shot here at 190 as we take a look at the replay in the left corner.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as Coach has mentioned, Ferrier just has to try and do a good job of staying off his back. He got lucky, he got the 1 point with the full Nelson, and then another because Haddon Heights chose to let him up. But then Martinez right back with another takedown. That's something that's interesting this year with the 3-point takedown. It just makes it more interesting to be in the neutral position rather than just riding it out on top.
Craig, with the 3 points, it's a lot tougher to you get tech falls a lot faster now. So instead of being up, usually takedowns are 2 points. Tech fall is winning by 15 or more. So it's harder to get pins now, and the tech falls come a lot quicker. So Jaden's doing his job right here. He's controlling the wrist. He's staying square, getting his hands up. His job, he's doing everything that Coach wants him to do right now. He's in on a single. We like to see him finish here. But right now, he's not giving up a takedown here at the end. That was tough right there, giving a takedown up at the end. You would hope it would stay 6-3. But
yeah, and I mean, we're going to take a look at it. As you mentioned, there's short time left in this first period, but a good job by Martinez to just fight, get his leg free, and end up spinning behind for the takedown. He leads 9-3 at the end of the first.
So start of period number 2 here, as Jake mentioned. Ferrier down by 6. Going to need a couple takedowns. Definitely looking for that pin. And, I mean, kind of did everything right there in period number 1, but just could not execute when it came down to it. Martinez definitely looking like the better wrestler so far.
And, I mean, you talk about trying to save team points. And right now, Ferrier is competing with Martinez, who's a very good wrestler, one of their better wrestlers in this Haddon Heights lineup. And Ferrier, a guy who hasn't seen a lot of time at the varsity level, is holding his own, just showing the work that he's putting in outside of the varsity matches, whether in practice or the reps he's getting at junior varsity.
But now, Martinez trying to take complete control of this one as he gets another 3 points there for the takedown.
But anything right now, Jaden's doing everything that Coach Dez is asking him to do. He's staying off his back. He even a tech fall, saving team points, so he's got to keep fighting here. There's another full Nelson. So he's gonna get a fresh start, another point here. So they're gonna be back down. Jaden will still be in the bottom position, and he needs to keep moving here. Keep his head off the mat, keep moving.
He is a fast kid. I mean, definitely moves well off the ground, but it's going to be definitely difficult to try and muscle down Martinez, who's just completely controlled these first two periods.
Yeah, and then after giving up the full Nelson, Haddon Heights elects to go neutral yet again. So giving Ferrier 2 points, but they get 3 back of their own with the takedown.
And they're just getting closer to that 15-point lead as it's now 16-5. And Martinez is definitely going for glory here, looking for the pin.
Yeah, he's got to fight his elbow down here, look away from the half and fight his left elbow down and try to get that hand away from the mat. He don't want to turn him over here. He's got to keep trying to fight.
He's going to get those back points, though. There's going to be 4 more. If he gets 1 more point, Martinez will win this match, as it's now 20-5. Looking for that 15-point win for the tech fall.
If he can fight off his...
And it does not matter, as Martinez gets the first pin of the night, as he pins Ferrier to get 6 points there for Haddon Heights.
You're going to take another look at it right here. A nice job by Martinez just to run that half, turn Ferrier over, and stick him for the pin. And, I mean, give credit to Ferrier, who did a good job, fought up for a pretty long time, that whole first period, and then about halfway through the second against one of the better wrestlers in that Haddon Height lineup. And McCardle wins by forfeit on senior night. So Haddon Heights chose to not send someone out, but Kenny McCardle now ties the match at 6 apiece.
He's not very pleased about that one, unfortunately, and I'm not sure I would be either, especially on his senior night.
It's tough on a senior night, but going back to Jaden, he wrestled great. It was a tough match, but he wrestled everything he could. So now we're coming up to Desi Mullen, freshman, coming through our junior program. He's been up here, so this is going to be another tough match.
Yeah, and Leilon is definitely not someone to look over. 16-3 record as a junior. His last match won by pinfall. 11-match win streak. Just on fire right now, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we talked about it earlier, which team can put the other more on their back and create more pins? I mean, Leilanis, 9 of those 11 wins during that streak are by the pin. And Mullen, being a freshman, his first year at the varsity level, definitely has his work cut out for him in this one.
He has, but he's been wrestling for a long time. He's come up through the junior program. He knows the sport. He knows what he's supposed to do. If he stays in good position, he's very athletic. If he stays in a good position, hand fights, he should be pretty well here. So is he going to keep pummeling in? As you notice here, he wants inside control on the heavyweight. Heavyweight's going to try to do a little bit of underhook. If he can belly out here, see it's another, and pop him, hips. As long as he works his hips here and he keeps fighting. And that's just good wrestling right there. Never stopping, keep scrambling, even though they're on the out-of-bounds line. They're continuing to scramble and getting back to your feet. So he did everything you need to do right there.
And a good job of Mullen by using his lower half to flip Leonolis over. Ended up getting the escape.
Looks like a little clock mess up there for the clock right there. So we're sitting at a 3-1 score here.
And I mean, we mentioned Leonolis for Haddon Heights is having a good junior year with a 16-3 record, 11-match win streak. But Desi Mullen, as a freshman, is having a good year of his own, 7-8 overall. The last time we saw him here on Channel 19 against Gateway back on the 17th, he won by pin, which was a good win for him in his young career.
See, that's great wrestling by Desi right there. He pushing the opponent out of bounds, right? So he's trying to establish control here. So as you push and pull, push forward, he wants to control the match. If he's pushing him forward and the Haddon Heights heavyweight is backing up, that's good news. You can get hit for stalling or some different things that happen. You get out of control. So Desi's doing everything right now. It's great hand fighting, looking for his underhooks. He's kind of controlling the match right now. So hopefully it can continue going that way. He wants to pummel in and circle in. He wants to circle back inside here. Stay away from the heavy lionize his strength. Sprawl, get back, crossface, spin, shoot him out of bounds here. So Desi's wrestling very well right now, and it's a good, hard-fought heavyweight match right now. With a heavyweight as being a freshman, he was a little tougher. You're wrestling older gentlemen, seniors, juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
So he's wrestling very well right now, holding his own.
So down by 2 here. Start of period number 2 coming up in just a moment. Spoke with Desi earlier today. Kind of said doesn't really look up his opponents at all. Kind of goes in with that mentality that everyone's going to be the best that he's going to face. And Jake, I mean, from someone who has a little bit of experience in wrestling, do you think Leononis is a little taken aback about how aggressive Mullen is off the jump, especially being a freshman going against someone like Leononis, who's so skilled in that area.
Well, I mean, we don't see these bigger guys in the heavier weights go for a lot of takedowns, but Leononis went for the takedown and now leads the match 3-1. So he has a decent amount of lead, and Mullen was still being aggressive, but Leononis did a good job of fending it off during that first period. And I like the way for both wrestlers that they both played their strategy very well, with Leononis having a lead, just being defensive, and then Mullen trying to get back into the match, being the aggressor. But the one thing, too, with Desi Mullen in that neutral position, he's just got to be a little bit careful of getting out of his stance and standing up too straight. That's cost him at least 1 or 2 matches this year.
Exactly. You don't want to get too overpowered. Right now he's got to hit some mat returns. He's going to let him go here because he was tough bringing him back to the mat. Didn't get a hit for stalling. So now we're back in that position where he wants to work to his underhooks, but he also doesn't want to get too extended where he might get headlocked or thrown to the mat. So right now he just wants to stay in his stance, keep moving his head a little bit, pushing and pulling. He's working underhooks. This is good working right there. He's staying in his stance, pushing him out of bounds. If he keeps pushing like that, the ref's going to hit the Heights heavyweight for stalling at some point. But Desi's got to keep the momentum moving, make it look like he's doing more. So as he continues to pummel and hand fight, push him out of bounds.
This is really good for Mullen. I mean, really at the moment, doesn't say it in the score, but doing a great job on the mat, just kind of trying to overpower Leononis, and been a really good sign so far for Mullen as both of these wrestlers will start back in the neutral position.
Little hands to the face there, Nothing a little wrestling didn't happen before. We've all been there. But the good thing with the new 3-point takedown is Desi's 1 takedown away from being back tied up here, right? So it does help in that way. It's a little different than the 2-point takedown from last year where he'd still be down a point. So now 1 takedown and he's back in the match. It's tied 4-4 and we got a whole new match. So Desi's wrestling very well right now. He's doing everything you would ask for a heavyweight to do, as long as he keeps swimming in here. He's got good position here.
Definitely.
Right, if he can drop down to a leg here and maybe get a takedown, it'd be nice. But he's doing everything that he needs to do, staying in control.
Well, and he's being the complete aggressor in this match. And later in this match, if Leononis doesn't try to do anything offensively, I mean, you saw a bit of a shot right there, but not the best shot in the world. If Leononis continues to wrestle passively, at some point, the official is going to have to come in with a stall, and if Desi gets a couple points or a point awarded for a stall, now a takedown wins the match because he'd have that extra point from Leononis just wrestling defensively.
Correct.
So the last time Mullen was here on Sterling Channel 19 against Gateway, it kind of came down to this last period, and once again, Mullen in one of those scenarios here early against Haddon Heights.
And with Desi pressuring as much as he is, it does tire out the other opponent. Right, so now you're carrying the other heavyweight's weight, and there you can see that stall call because he's backing up. So Desi's doing everything. We talked about that a little bit ago, Dan and Jake. And right now Desi's in the driver's seat right now. Even though he's losing by a point, he can keep moving, push another stall call, and a takedown, and he could be back. He could be up 5-4.
Yeah, and and you mentioned, right, he's down on the scoreboard, but he's the one that's controlling this match, and you don't see that often. You usually see the guy that's up on the scoreboard really just having their way with their opponent. But Leononis is wrestling so passively and so defensively, and with Mullen, obviously he just got the stall call, but I think the stall sort of brought Leononis to life a little bit, as now you're seeing him get the takedown there against Mullen. Just took that stall call for him to wake up a little bit and get the takedown.
It looks like Leononis got a little bit too overzealous there, Mullen got a little too overzealous there, and Leononis capitalized on, the youth of Mullen and kind of just put him in a spot where Mullen couldn't capitalize.
Kind of lost his stance right there a little bit, but that's that happens. He's trying to force the action, and Leonidas is kind of continually backing up. So as long as he keeps pressing, he's still not out of it. We're still in it. We got a minute left here, and Desi's got to do his thing. He doesn't want to get too overzealous, as you were saying, but there's that stall call we're talking about with the backing up. So if he can work something here, not this, but went for something there. He got the takedown, but he's trying. He's working hard.
I think with 30 seconds to go in period number 3, those are the risks you kind of have to take there. And now Leononis in the driver's seat, and this is not good for Mullen. And he gets the pin. Fought very, very hard that entire match, but Mullen gets pinned at the very last moment, and the Garnets retake the lead at a 12-6.
And overall, Mullen wrestles really well in this match, as we talked about, was the aggressor for the entire match. Really had Leonolis, who's a junior, on the ropes as a freshman. But then to go out like that and give up a pin with less than 30 seconds in the match to not be able to save team points, and in fact give Haddon Heights more points because he just rolled out of bounds and got stuck on his back, has to be very frustrating for Coach Daz and the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. You want him to try to make it all 6 minutes, and we talked about that, but that's going to come with experience and age, and as he gets used to wrestling heavyweight again, he'll do that. He'll get better at that. Forfeit at 106 for Haddon Heights. Moves the score up to 18-6. Haddon Heights. Now we are on to 113 here. So this is right here. This is a little bit of gamesmanship here. You know, they got some tough kids, and we're trying to move some wrestlers around so that we get the matchups that we want. So with the toss that we talked about earlier, with us winning the toss earlier, that gives us the ability to make those moves. So the score looks bad right now, but it was part of the plan of Coach Dez and the coaching staff to try to give themselves the best chance that they have to try to get a win here as a team, even though the score is 24-6. They're still into it.
Well, the match is still early. We're only at 113, and we started at 190, so there's still a couple weight classes that have to go, and you have, for Sterling, some of their better wrestlers.
So for Sterling right now, it is Chris Gallucci, who normally wrestles at the 113 weight class, going down to 120. And then for Haddon Heights, it's Brennan Albright, who normally wrestles at 126, but now wrestling at the 120.
Yeah, this is definitely strategy right here. So Haddon Heights weighs in Cole Denning and Brennan Albright at both at 120, and then they move each one around depending on the better matchup that they're going to have. So right now they sent Albright out against our freshman Chris Gallucci, thinking he's going to get a win here, and they're going to move Cole Denning, who's one of their better wrestlers, up to Rogers. So a little bit of strategy by both teams here. This is kind of the matchups that Coach Dez wanted, so we'll see if it holds up here. So we need Chris Gallucci to come out and wrestle tough here and try to get Sterling back on the scoreboard.
So Gallucci, again a freshman, having a great season nevertheless. I mean, we mentioned a couple times, 7-13 as a freshman. His last match lost by pin, but he does have 3 wins by pinfall, coming from Paulsboro, Pittman, and Lindenwald. Trying to get the advantage here over Brennan Albright, who has 2 wins by tech fall, 1 from West Hampton Tech and 1 from Overbrook, and a big takedown there from Albright to get him 3 points.
And a good job there by Albright to understand where he was at on the mat. Gallucci was trying to force himself out. Albright dragged him back in to get the takedown, and now Gallucci with the escape, looking for the takedown.
If he stays in on this leg, kind of gets to his feet here, he can work that takedown. He's got to try to get his head up. Right now he wants to kind of sit Albright back on his butt here to try to get him down. If he can clear his hands, he can get that leg out. He can look for a double and try to work that takedown. But he's got a short time. You want to score here.
But he does not get it, as we're going to go into period number 2. I mean, a very spirited period number 1 nevertheless. O'Donnell, I think you had some thoughts on him. Sorry, I cut you off right there.
No, all good. We'll keep working here. He's wrestling very well right now. He is giving up a little bit of weight, moving up from 113 to 120. So there is a little bit of strength that he's given up there. But he's also wrestled before. It's not his first year, so he knows a little bit about that. He understands it.
Our next TV game will be this Tuesday, January 28th. It'll be girls basketball versus Woodbury. That one starting at, I think, 4 o'clock. So make sure you guys write that one down. 4 o'clock, that one will start. So Tuesday, January 28th, girls basketball against Woodbury, 4 o'clock. Coach McDonald will return back to the castle after 300th win.
So right now, Gallucci is wrestling pretty tough on bottom. He wants to get that hand off of his head. As he continues to get to his feet, he can get that escape, and he's right back in the match. Now it's time to get to his offense. So he's got to start hand fighting, moving his feet around a little bit. He wants to get some fakes in there and try to get Albright out of position so he can set up a shot. Moving up a weights is a little bit tougher. You don't always want to shoot in under somebody that's a little bit heavier than you. So if you can try to create an angle here and look for a good takedown, we're going to get there.
I mean, talking about an angle, he had a good outside single in that first period, but just wasn't able to elevate it and take Albright down to the mat. Albright, good job defensively with a good cross face at the end of that period.
Correct, yeah. He went on that outside single. He wants to get away now. He's got bear hugging. He's got to try to swing his fingers in. Get your butt away. Stay on your good feet here. Keep that whizzer in around his arms. Get out of bounds. Look where you're at. Very good wrestling right there. It's great scramble. Good mat awareness to get out of bounds with Gallucci, using that whizzer to get rid of that bear hug. That's really good wrestling right there by Gallucci, knowing where he was and getting out of any danger that he might have been in.
So Gallucci and Albright back in this neutral position here. About 40 seconds to go here in period number 2. Great spirited wrestling between these two at this 120 weight class.
I mean, they're doing a good job of, both of them are showing flashes of energy, but they're also doing a good job of hand fighting. And you see right there, just the slow pace of Albright. He then sets up the outside single against Gallucci.
Gallucci definitely in a little bit of an awkward position here as Albright makes a nice move, but Gallucci recovers quite well. But then gives up 3 points there on the takedown.
Yeah. And why you give up the takedown, a smart move there by Gallucci to not hold on to the head, because if he holds on to the head, he's going to get taken right back down to his back. As you saw right there, he gives it up, gives up the takedown, but instead of being pinned, it's 6-2 going into the third.
He's given himself a chance to win the match, right? That's really what it comes down to. Even if you're never out of a match. In high school wrestling, you're never out. Even if you're down big or up big, you're never out of it. Anything can happen, right? So we always tell them, learn to fight another minute, another couple seconds. So give up the takedown, get back to your base, and get up. So right now he's got to get to some work here. Try to find a turn on top. Try to get some back points. If he can work, he likes working a bar. So he's got that overhook on the arm right now. He's going to try to work a bar arm right here. This is called a pipe. So he's going to try to work a pipe to a bar arm. Try to get the turn here. He's going to get a little bit more time here, and he's got to try to bring it back to the mat so he doesn't get hit for stalling here. He's got the bar in, but they're kind of in position. He gets him out of bounds. We get a fresh start. Albright will still be on bottom. Gallucci on top. He's got to try to get a break him down off his base.
And if Gallucci gets a turn here and gets us 4 backs, we're looking at a tied match at 6 apiece. But as you mentioned, Gallucci moving down a weight class to 120, where he's at 113. He's given up some weight, and therefore the extra 6 or 7 pounds that Albright may have on him might have the advantage to where it's tougher to break him down.
100%, definitely. It's a little tougher. You get the weight in, but it shows you kind of what you're made of. He's wrestling really well here. He's holding his own. He's got a great, he's got a kind of a half cradle stuck in here where he's almost got him on his back. If he can pop the cradle, now Gallucci's still in okay position right now. He's got to try to move. That's a quick reverse there by that ref. He's got a fish for the head. Gallucci keeps spinning towards the head, Try to grab that arm. He's
really doing everything he can right now, but hasn't been able to get it. Now trying to get back in control of this match.
2 reversal right there, so he's still down 4, so you're only 1 turn away from being tied. You got 30 seconds left. He's 1 turn. He's got to try to go hit something big here.
You can see he's trying to look for that arm bar with the left arm, but Albright just not giving it to him.
He's looking to try to hit a hazard here, but he can't quite get it. If he can go near side cradle, he's just got to try something now with 15 seconds left. He's got to try to get a turn. He's running out of time right now.
Yeah.
Albright's doing a great job staying in position, not getting anywhere where he could get in trouble. He's staying strong, staying in position, not putting himself in a position where he might get turned.
And that'll do it. So we're going to introduce to the broadcast someone we were very familiar with yesterday, back here on the broadcast here for wrestling. Mr. Ciano, welcome to the broadcast. How you doing?
Hey, guys. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The analysis tonight has been fantastic.
Yes, it has. And I was just about to mention that. Jake Clark and Mr. OD doing a great job here on the microphone, OD, helping me out a little bit.
Top-notch right now. Top-notch wrestling analysis. It's been awesome.
Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. Ciano, got to ask you a quick little question. I mean, just still on the waves of yesterday, talk about that whole experience for you and how that was.
For me personal, it was just short of magical. I mean, it was great to see something like that happen here. When you start coaching, you never think of winning 300 games. So it's just it's an impressive feat. It's something great for Coach McDowell, great for the program. great for every kid, student athlete that helped her get to that accomplishment.
So we're going to hold you for one moment there, Mr. Sayano, as now Joseph Rogers on the offensive gets himself 3 points. Looking for a flip here. Joseph Rogers gets right back on top. Now, Mr. Sayano, talk about, your experiences with Coach Wiggins and this wrestling squad throughout the year. And, I mean, definitely a team that's kind of come from nothing to something as the past couple of years have went on.
So, listen, I've been spending a lot of time with Coach Wiggins trying to figure this sport out. I'll be honest with you. As a basketball guy, I spend a lot of time on the court here, not on the mat. So him and I have developed a nice relationship when it comes to wrestling. And it's great to see the kids, get to this point right now where they're in these matches, they're competitive, and they're doing the best they can.
Mr. Sayano, I got a quick question. Do you have a question for us here on the broadcast that we can answer real quick?
Oh, I absolutely have my trivia question ready. And not wrestling, not Major League, baseball.
Oh, wait, hold on, Mr. Sayano. We're going to have to hold you for a quick second as now Denning back on the attack here against Rogers. Rogers getting some back points against him here. Denning in a good spot. Rogers in a bad position here.
Short time here. Rogers got to see where he's at. He knows he's on the out-of-bounds line here. He's got to try to fight. He's got 15 seconds left. He's got to try to fight off bottom here. Fight that shoulder up.
And it does not happen.
Unfortunately, it does not happen.
As Denning with yet another pin here for Heights. And they're taking control here, 27-6.
And I mean, Denning's a talented wrestler, 16-1 on the year, winner of both the tournaments that Haddon Heights went to, the SC Holiday Classic and the Garden State Classic at 120 pounds. He comes out at 126 pounds here tonight, and Rogers looked like he had him on the ropes there for a little bit, but all in all, Denning able to get the pin and extend that Garnet lead.
Yeah, Denning's a pretty solid wrestler at 16-1. He's been around a long time, wrestled a lot of matches. Rogers is tough. He's athletic. He just started wrestling sophomore year, so he's come a very long way. And we got a good match here with JoJo Carter. So he's a wrestler, just came out, and he's got a lot of talent coming forward here.
So, Mr. Sayano, you can hit us with your question now. We were
here we go. My
there by the
trivia
match.
question.
Go hit us.
You're okay. All right, NHL question for you here.
Oh.
How many career goals did Wayne Gretzky score?
Ooh, big takedown there for Carter. And I'm going to go, hold on, another moment here, Mr. Sayano, as Carter now in the hot seat here against Loftus.
Come on, let's get this pin.
This is a momentum builder right here if he can get this for them. I know the score doesn't look good, but JoJo doing his job. He's got to try to get some pressure forward, bring that arm down. He can go to reverse half. His chest is a little low on him. He's got to try to get his chest back on top of Loftus's chest right now to try to get that head down.
Yeah, definitely has to readjust, but a strong mat return. You see there's the reverse half. He's going to try and readjust. Nice job by Loftus. He had his legs back facing the mat for a second, not facing the ceiling.
Loftus is doing a very good job fighting this off, but he's got a long time left. JoJo's very strong. As long as he keeps lifting the head, walking away from the arm as he is right now, he's eventually going to bring that shoulder to the mat. So there's a lot of, he's got 40 seconds. He still can take some time here. He's got, and there it is.
Joseph Carter.
Big momentum draw right there to stop the bleeding from Haddon Heights. Gets us back in the match here, and now gives us a little momentum going into our next wrestlers.
So I'm going to answer your question here.
To you too.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
awesome.
To you two right there. Wow.
They are really good at what they do, Mr. Sayano. And just to answer your question real quick, I'm going to go with probably. I mean,
well, I do have like an A, B, a C, and a D.
Oh, hit us
here
with the A, B, and C, D real quick.
Okay, A, 793. B, 894.
Okay.
C, 912.
Okay.
D, 939.
I'm going to go with C, 912.
912. Anyone else have a guess over there?
Jake? OD?
Not the biggest of hockey guys, which is why maybe they brought me on for wrestling. But I know Dan is, so I'm gonna trust his judgment and go with C along with him.
And I should know this because I do know Ovechkin's only like 22 or 25 goals away from breaking this record, but I forget the exact number on it. So I'm going to defer to Dan and go with C as well.
All three of you are going with C?
Yep.
Wow. All three of you are Wrong. B, 894.
Yep, that was my next guess.
894. Yep. And Ovechkin is close.
He's
very close.
around 8. I think he's 874 right now, so he's about 20 away.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Mr. Sinos,
Danny,
we're going to get back to the action
I thought you would
here.
know that one, man.
I know. I'm disappointed in myself. That was definitely a Rob Strauss question. I can see his bald head over there. As we're going to get back to the action here, Mr. Siano, thank you for coming on and joining us. We should be talking to you soon.
Yes, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, and keep up the good work over there.
So back to wrestling here on the mat, ladies and gentlemen, as we have Cameron Johnson against Leo Falco here. And Jake, tell us a little bit about each wrestler.
I mean, for Cameron Johnson from Sterling, he's 5-8 as a sophomore. His last match was a tough one against Pennsville. He lost 5-2 by decision. However, he has wins versus Vineland and Collingswood during that quad again by pin. And then on the other side of things, Leo Falco for Haddon Heights, 3-15 as a sophomore. Again, we mentioned both teams are very young. Last match against Haddonfield, he lost by a pin. And the last match he wrestled was at 132, so he's bumped up to 138 here today. But he's listed on NewJersey.com at 132, 138, and 144. So a guy that floats around a bunch of different weight classes here for the Garnets.
Yeah, he's a wrestler that started as a freshman, that came out as a freshman last year, and he's very improved. He works out with JoJo Carter in the room. Oh, and right there, he should have gotten some back points there. I hope the ref put them up, but doesn't look like it. He's wrestling very well. He's probably one of the most improved kids on the team right now. He comes in, he works hard every day. You can see he got his takedown, got back points here. So right now, this is a good match for Sterling to try to get some momentum back.
And I mean, talk about momentum, the way Carter was able to get that takedown and then the mat return to follow and able to get the pin against Loftus. That's a match that, when looking at the records, I'm sure that Sterling thought they could have won. They did, and now you have the better part of your lineup coming up to try and build some more momentum and take away just points into this Haddon Heights lead.
And Jake, you make a great point with the point you make about the better part of the lineup. We've seen Sterling struggle with the lighter weights throughout the year, but once we kind of hit this stage of, Joseph Carter, Cameron Johnson, and the 144 match, we kind of get a lot more momentum going in the Sterling side.
Johnson has to be careful right there because Falco started to run, and then Johnson just forced him out, has to try and bring him back in and force him back down to the mat, or else he might get hit with a stall sooner than later.
He's got to break his base down right now. Right, Falco's doing a great job standing up. He's making Cameron use a lot of weight right now, or a lot of energy right now. That was a nice mat return there by Cameron Johnson, and he's trying to run that one-on-one half. It's one of his bread and butter moves. He's got to try to break the Flacco off his base and just kind of run. Right now, he's running. I'd like to do a little whip spin here, try to extend him like he just did. See how he extended him there over his own knee. He wants to do that whip spin one more time, and he might be able to get him. So Flacco is too bunched up right now. He's got to get him extended before he can run that half anymore. So there's another whip spin. One more time, if he can get that half deep. He's wrestling really tough. He's got to keep working here.
Well, and he's plenty of time to do so, about 50 seconds remaining in the period, and now he has him right where he wants him because he has Falco fully extended, and that's what you wanted. You didn't want him to have any momentum with his legs to try and base back up.
And Johnson really doing a great job, being persistent, and now going to get some back points for this. Falco does a good job of trying to get out of it, trying to build the bridge here. Johnson in control.
He's got to lift the head here, reverse half. With his left arm, he's got to reverse around the head, which he wasn't able to do right there.
And a great job there by Falco. But 4 points will be awarded there to Johnson.
So he's still building the lead here. Use a lot of energy on that. And that's what we talk about when you get a wrestler on their back, is you want to keep them there for that's team points, right? So Falco is doing everything he can to stay off his back right now, and he's fighting really well.
And an incredible bridge from Falco. And you mentioned, Johnson did almost everything right. He had his weight equally distributed where he wanted it, had his chest on chest, but just didn't scoop the head, and that allowed for Falco to bridge almost fully off the mat.
Now we're into a little bit of injury time here. His shoulder's a little sore, So
you can follow us on Twitter or X at Sterling TV 19. We'll have live updates of all the sports and, of course, all the cool and awesome things that happen here around the castle. So make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter or X at Sterling TV 19. So thank you all for tuning in here. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined by Jake Clark and Mr. O'Donnell, a.k.a. Personal Bubble Wrap, Mr. Injury Prone, and definitely very, very happy to have these two on because these two are the wrestling gurus of Sterling Channel 19.
I guess you could call it that. A coach knows more than I do. He taught me about half of the stuff that I know, whether it was coming up through the junior program or the 1 year that I did it. He wished he would have had more of me, but my passion led me here.
I wish you did all 4 years, but you're part of it. He does great. It's an honor to be on here. It's my first time being on here in my career here, so it's different being on this side of the camera and not on the mat, but it's really cool. It's a really cool experience. So I thank you guys for letting me come on. So right there, Cameron got hit for a stall. He did not bring Falco back to the mat fast enough, but he's still working that one-on-one half as he is trying to extend him. So he's got to keep moving here. He did take an injury time, Falco, so that you want to go right back to that shoulder and keep moving it. Keep running that half. Working his whip spin, get him extended as he continues doing right now. Cameron needs to try to get a couple back points, build the lead here. So we've been talking about a lot of pins here, Jake, in wrestling, but there's also more points that you can score. So a decision is 3 points, and then if you're winning by 8 or more, it's actually 14 points. So right now, Cameron being up 7-0, he still wants to try to get some points here just because we're looking for team points. All right, so he needs to try to build this lead here soon. And I think Coach Dez is probably going to have Cameron let Falco go soon, so Cameron can try to get a takedown and work to a fall that way.
And you see the way that Falco's leg is extended right now. If Johnson were to take his right arm and potentially try for a cradle, try and chain those moves together, we could potentially be looking at a pin because Falco left himself vulnerable there for quite some time with that leg being extended.
Yes. And, now as time's going down, you got 30 seconds. Falco just got hit for stalling right here, so you can try to get one more. Cameron's got to keep working something here. So that's actually not the worst thing right now that he's out. Cameron needs a takedown to get a major decision. If he can get the major decision, it's 14 points for Sterling, which is huge. Reverse half, now he gets it. That's very big. This is huge if he can get this with 12 seconds left. Yes! Yes! That's a great way to never stop wrestling by Cameron Johnson. That is a big, big pin for Sterling High School right there to continue the momentum. But that's what happens when you don't stop wrestling.
And I think the Sterling bench knew it immediately.
Well, I mean, if you watch the replay there, Falco had a pretty good sprawl there on Johnson, but he did a good job of just powering through, getting the takedown, put Falco in a bad position, and then got him on his back for the pin. We're taking a look at the last pin for Sterling, which was JoJo Carter. Joel Small now coming out, another guy that's come up through the junior program, wrestling at 144.
For Haddon Knights, Ian Baumgartner.
So Joel has got a very, very athletic, very quick. You see that little low single takedown right here. So this is another match that Sterling is going to hope to come out on top here and continue with the momentum. So right now, Joel's on top, wants to work a nice breakdown, try to get under his arms. He's going to work to a half here. He hit, and hopefully he can hold him there with that nice pin. And that's another big win by Joel Small. It was great to see him come out and get that win right now.
And that match just showcased exactly what Joel Small does, because you can obviously see he's a very strong wrestler, but he also showed off his quickness, was right there to get the takedown and then worked super quick. Didn't even make it out of the first period, got the pin.
Yeah, it was a great match. That was his job for his team. That's what they were supposed to do. Now we move up to Declan Winters, sophomore, came up through the programs and wrestling for a long time. And he's got a big match here to try to continue the momentum. This is another little bit of those gamesmanship and matchmanship and matchups that you have. They moved Bailey up from 144 to 150 and sent out the Baumgartner at 144. So they're a little bit of matchup scheme here to try to get another win and build the score for Haddon Heights. So this is a match that Haddon Heights moved a wrestler up, probably thinking that they're going to be able to get more team points here. So if Declan can do his job, as you see here's in a great single, he lifts the leg up. Right now, that's a great takedown by Declan. See how he got the leg out, Jake? Got it up. He didn't keep it underneath, so he got the leg up.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at it here in the bottom left-hand corner. You see Winters elevates that left leg of Bailey, and that takes his balance away from him, and a strong mat return. Right now, Winters showing a lot of strength and a lot of force early in this first period.
Again, 9-6 as a sophomore this year. His last match, he lost by pinfall, but he placed second at the Clayton Clipper Classic, and he has wins over Pittman and Lindenwald by pin. It's definitely a very successful wrestler for Sterling, but Bailey now has him in some trouble.
He's okay right now. Keep fighting, keep wrestling, give up, out of bounds. Hopefully, they'll probably give him neutral here. He kept.
Looks like it's the reverse.
Oh, he
see right there, it was the reversal.
That's a questionable call.
Coach Desmond Wiggins, and you saw the Sterling bench, was looking for it to be neutral so that Declan would give up just 1 point instead of 2.
Yeah, that.
We're going to take another look at it right here. And, I mean, Winters does a nice job of getting that left arm free to just face Bailey, because if that left arm is held for any longer, Bailey could have taken him right back to his back.
Yeah, that's a questionable reversal call right there, Jake. That probably should have been neutral. He didn't really have control. He wasn't behind him. They were kind of squaring each other, and you can see Coach Des there in the middle.
Immediately.
Throwing his arms up.
Yeah.
So really should be 3-1 right now on your feet, but, Declan's wrestling very well. Let's see where this goes. As long as he keeps moving on bottom, should be all right. With short time, you'd like to score here. 10 seconds left. You'd like to see Declan try to get a score here, get a point, get a neutral point. But that's a great first period for Declan Winters for Sterling to keep this momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, he came out and showcased that strength. I mean, with a strong takedown and then a nice, strong mat return. But now looks like Heights has choice, and they'll choose to go in the defensive position for the second.
And Ryan Bailey definitely on a hot streak right now. 4-match win streak. Haddonfield, Buna, Woodstown, and Pennsauken. And Declan doing great against a red-hot Bailey.
Yeah, the last match against Haddonfield, he won 4-1 by decision. 11-9 as a junior for the Garnets. But Declan Winters, the sophomore, so far holding his own and has just a 1-point advantage in the second.
And we talked about this as another wrestler where that moved up a weight class, giving up some weight, right? So that the strength factor could come into play here as wrestlers move around to different weight classes that they're not used to wrestling.
And I mean, I think we already saw it with the takedown and then the mat return. And right now, I think this is where you want to be if you're Declan Winters, especially if you have 6-7 pounds on a guy, depending on the weight class. He just got hit with a caution, moved a little before the whistle. But right now, Winters in the offensive position, got to look to at least just keep Bailey down. If not, maybe get a turn.
Yeah, you're always looking for a turn when you're on top. You want to keep moving. Bailey's doing a great job of getting to his feet, keeping his head off the mat, getting to his feet. Declan's got to try to stop that first move, keep his weight on his hands so that he doesn't come right to his feet.
You saw right there, Bailey again had the first move. He went to the switch and then stood up. Now Bailey was looking for that right ankle of Winters. A nice mat return there by Declan Winters to get him back down onto his base.
So Winters now trying to get control of this match. We're about 1:05 remaining here in period number 2, and Winters has definitely wrestled a great match thus far.
He's wrestling very well. A lot of time left, halfway through. Declan needs to try to get to a little turn here, work the base. He's using a lot of energy on top here. We'd like to see him try to get a turn, build that lead. He's wrestling very well. And he's using great mat awareness right now as he circled them back in to keep the momentum, keep them moving so they don't get a fresh start, so Bailey doesn't have a chance to get out.
And now Bailey looking for that escape here, but Winters does a good job returning him to the mat.
Very good wrestling right there. Mat awareness, we talk about knowing where you are as he's pushing him straight out of bounds. You got to be a little careful there. You might get hit for a stall call, especially as Bailey continues to stand up. We got injury time here for blood.
So you can follow us on Facebook at Sterling Channel 19, where we have all the updates of what's happening here on Sterling Channel 19, updates around the castle as well, and just stuff you guys need to know at home. So make sure you guys go follow us on Facebook at Sterling Channel 19.
Yeah, it looks like blood time. Declan Winters was the one. Looks like athletic trainer Sean Clank is attending to him now. But so far, I mean, short time left in this second period. He's wrestled a pretty good match. And as you mentioned on that last go-around, a good job to just know where he was at on the mat, force Bailey out, and still, I guess you could say he sold it a little bit because he did bring him down to the mat with a mat return. So all in all, a nice job by Declan Winters. But looks like now Bailey has to get cleaned up.
So 36.2 seconds to go here in period number 2. Winters with a 1-point lead over Bailey. Haddon Heights a team total 33 to Sterling's 24. Sterling only down by 8. And definitely with the way this, whole event started, definitely a good way to get back into this one.
This is a great way to get back into it. We are coming down to the wire here. This match is going to come. These next 4 matches are going to come down to the end. So stay tuned because this is going to be a fun ending to this match. Both teams have a shot still. We're right back into it, right where we knew we would be when I was talking with Coach Des today. So this is one of those toss-up matches, Jake, that Sterling needs to try to win. All right, we've lost a couple toss-up matches early and lost a couple team points. So right now we can get some team points back here and build a nice and try to cut back into that lead still.
And Bailey now gets the escape point. So we're all evened up here with 30 seconds to go in period number 2.
And we saw that a lot in the second period from Bailey. He just won off the whistle. You see he explodes up and out, gets to his feet, and gets that escape. And he had done that multiple times against Winters where he was just quicker to get his first move off.
Yeah, first move is everything on top and bottom. If you make the first move, you get out. That's why we talk about keeping the weight forward. But right now, Declan's still in it. It's 3-3. He's going to have choice in the third period. With 12 seconds left here, you don't want to make any deals. You want to get out of this period tied 3-3 and get into that third period with a chance to win this match. So Declan's wrestling exactly how he needs to wrestle right now. Good hand fighting. Declan's probably going to go on defense right now in the bottom position. So right now he's got to get his first move moving and get out and try to build to this lead.
So now third period action here between Winters and Bailey. Both of these wrestlers tied at 3 apiece. This, again, as OD said, being a big match in this, in this matchup today.
And I mean, we've mentioned a couple times how Sterling has their best wrestlers about to come up, but Haddon Heights has some of their better wrestlers in their lineup about to come up too. So Sterling, it's important this match and the next others, especially trailing on the scoreboard, and now only a couple matches left to try and get back into this one in the team score.
Yeah, this is a big toss-up. Declan's doing a great job right here. He's staying on his feet. The ref should hit Bailey for stalling soon, as he did there. You have 5 seconds to return him to the mat, and he did not make an attempt to return him. So Declan is wrestling awesome right now. Bailey has a stall call, so Bailey has to kind of push the momentum now. So Declan can circle, stay in the middle of the mat, and keep hand fighting. We don't want Declan backing up. We're circling like this, using the mat for his advantage, and get this. We got a minute left here. He's up 1.
Yeah,
he's got to keep his elbows in and
a big escape point for Winters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, on that escape, he did a good job of just getting his hips away, but now has to get his hips away again from Bailey on that shot. Looks like a strong crossface. Did the job for now, and then
headlock. Oh. Sorry, you guys hear me in the background. I'm trying to get into the coach there. He set him up kind of for a headlock right there. Sorry about that in the ears there, guys, but it's getting exciting because this is such a big match and everybody knows it.
So narrowing down here to the final 30 seconds here in period number 3. Winters with a 4-3 advantage here over Bailey. A big match in terms of team score, and Winters needs to control these next 20 seconds.
If he can hold his head under here, he's got to sprawl. Get back. Watch your leg here. Stomp your leg down. 15 seconds. This is going to be a big one. If Declan can fight this out, he's got to fight his leg down. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
These wrestlers.
Nice. Keep wrestling right there. Declan now the back points. He's got the takedown. He's got back points. He can try to stick him there. That's a huge win.
Great job there by Declan Winters as he will get the win. What a moment right there as Bailey goes down to Winters, and the sophomore improves to 10-6 on the season.
That was a great win. That's a huge momentum builder for Sterling. That's great. 10-3 win there, so he misses out. He just at the very end missed that last 1 count, back point count would have given the major right there. But we'll take we'll take everything that we can right now.
Take the win, and I mean,
absolutely.
Winters with the great third period got the escape out of the defensive position, then gets up on his feet, and Bailey looked like he had a deep shot in there, but great defense from Declan Winters to end up getting the takedown and a couple back points along with it.
So now the Bees back in the lineup here for Sterling. Was out a little bit with a shoulder injury, but now wrestling here on his senior night, and he is going against Jaden Bonilla. So definitely a good even match between these two wrestlers, and very excited to see John Beasley back in the lineup as he suffered same injury as OD here in the broadcast booth.
Thank you, Dan. No, it's great to see Beasley back in the mat. You know, he's put a lot of time in this offseason. Went to a couple camps, went to a Penn State camp. You know, he's really put a lot of time in since freshman year. So he did get taken down there, but he'll build his base back. He's going to be okay in this match.
I mean, watch the takedown here from Bonilla. Does a good job. He stays low. Beasley goes high. It just opens up the lower half of Beasley, and because Bonilla stayed lower to the ground, it was almost a blast double head right in the gut. Took him down for 3 points, but Beasley now back on his feet. 3-1. Bonilla leads.
It's a very good blast double. Very good. Bonilla looks very explosive. All right, looks very strong, very explosive right here. So Beasley's got to try to tire him out, use his more skill right now and technique to try to break the base of Bonilla.
And that is
that's part of it right there. So if he can do his thing here, that's very good. He got his points. He didn't try to fight down for a pin yet. Jake Ray, he got his points, and now he lives to fight another day.
Another solid mat return there by Beasley. And I mean, after giving up the early takedown, John Beasley's in control of this match. You see right there, nice job by Beasley to get the takedown. As you saw on the left part of your screen right there. Now Beasley, with short time, can't give up the escape point to tie the match at 4.
With just about 20 seconds left here, Beasley's going to have to do something quick and definitely, as Jake said, not give up that escape point.
He's trying to lock up a cradle right here.
He's got to watch his weight, though.
Yes, he's getting a little high. He's getting a little high right now, but he's got the cradle locked up. Looking for some back points. Fortunately doesn't get it. 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Save your energy. That was a great first period. Great first period for Beasley.
I think they gave him 2 backs, actually.
Oh, they did give him 2. That's awesome. I didn't see that one coming, but.
So Beasley now with a 6-3 lead over Bonilla here, getting ready for period number 2. Very good period number 1 from both wrestlers, and definitely a good start to this match, as this is a big one for Heights to try and get some momentum back in their favor.
Yes. I mean, Bonilla with the great blast double, but since then it's been all John Beasley on the scoreboard, who got a takedown of his own, a couple back points with the escape as well. And now Beasley in the offensive position. As we mentioned, he can't get too high when he locks up that cradle, and we'll have to see if he comes back to it throughout the remainder of this match.
He's wrestling really well here. He's working that same half, and we run that half in the wrestling all the time. See how he's extending him, moving around. Beasley's wrestling very good. He's got his weight on his hands. Extend him, extend him. Now you got to try something different here.
He looked for the cradle for a second, but a good job by Bonilla to just base up.
So he's wrestling, very well right now.
He's going back.
It looks
to
like
that
the cradle's
cradle.
up. Tough one right there. And with the shoulder being banged up a little bit, does take away a little bit of strength from Beasley right now. Normally he would probably lock that cradle up. So he might have to try something different now to try to get him over, work some, get some back points and build his lead.
And Bonilla definitely has to be careful because he's leaving his leg out and extended, and that's why Beasley is having the opportunity to even look to lock up that cradle. But as you mentioned, Bonilla still getting away with it for right now, defending it well enough.
So Bonilla and Beasley now with just under a minute to go here in period number 2. Beasley's controlled the top of most of this period, and Bonilla's had some trouble trying to escape, but now has a good moment here against Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley almost had the cradle, lost it. Now Bonilla goes neutral.
That's an interesting one call right there. I don't understand how he gave that, and they were still technically in bounds. So that was
we're going to take another look at it right here.
Interesting one call. Interesting out-of-bounds call, I would say, with that one. So that's all right.
That's what I thought initially it was an out-of-bounds call. But nevertheless, with 20 seconds left to go here in period number 2.
You can see both wrestlers, it looks like, have a foot in bounds. I'm not sure why or how they work out and why or how Bonilla is neutral there. But nevertheless, I'm not the one wearing the pinstripes tonight, so anything I really say does not matter.
All right, and here's that was a fireman's carry to a dump, gets his 3. If he can get to the half here, that's a huge takedown at the very end here. That's when we say wrestle for the whole period till you hear the whistle. All right, he gets a takedown at the very end to build his lead. All right, so that was a great takedown
and he had a call that didn't go his way. But you see right there, a good takedown, gets deep in on the shot right there, pops his head, gets the takedown, and now a 5-point advantage heading into the third.
Yeah, 5-point deficit here for Bonilla, who is battling his right knee at the moment and does a good job of Matt returning there, John Beasley.
A strong takedown right there. Another it looks like a normal double leg takedown. He had his head out on the side, but he picked him up and drove him like it was a blast double. Took him down, and a good job, as you mentioned, for Beasley to just belly down, not give up any backs. And right now, Haddon Heights is going to cut Beasley. So Beasley gets the escape point, but now a takedown ties the match at 10.
Yes, that was a great takedown by Bonilla. He kind of prevented Beasley from even sprawling. Now, with a nice takedown there, has never stopped wrestling. So it looks like there might be an injury time here.
Yeah, Bonilla, so
he got the takedown now.
What I was mentioning before this period started, Bonilla was limping with his right knee, kind of, said I'll stay in the match, but it seems affecting him a little bit too much now as we take a look at this replay here.
Going to take another look at it, and you can see right there, I think it happens when Beasley gets up. He sort of hit that knee, not intentionally, and then we're going to take another look. Gets in on the shot. Good defense from Bonilla, but Beasley still in control, and then is able to spin behind and get his takedown. But as we saw on the escape, it looked like that knee got bumped just a little bit, and I'm not sure if that's what did it or if it was on the takedown and the spin behind from Beasley to make it 13-7.
You can follow us on Instagram at SterlingTV19, where we have all the behind-the-scenes action of us here at Sterling TV 19, a little behind-the-scenes peek into what Mr. K does in his daily life, and, of course, all the stuff you guys need to know about the cast. So make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram at Sterling TV 19. So Bonilla back up. Looks like he will continue this match, and very spirited match between Beasley and Bonilla thus far, and with about 106 left here in period number 3, it could go either way.
And that takedown by Beasley is so huge because it was 10-7. If Bonilla gets that takedown, we're looking at a 10-point match, and then he gets a turn and things go Heights' way. But Beasley now extends the lead, is in control of the match on top, and just has to try and control Bonilla for the remaining minute, now under a minute.
Yes, Beasley is a good mat wrestler. And he'd rather be on the mat than on his feet. He's pretty good down here. He's a good rider on top. So he's right in the position that he wants to be in right now. He doesn't want to do anything silly, doesn't want to do anything stupid. Take the win, right, and let your other teammates kind of pick up the rest. So you always talk about don't do too much to where, you might put yourself in a bad situation. Right now he's up 13-7. If we win this match by decision, it'll cut the score to 33-30 with 2 matches left with Renee and Anthony Gogolowski coming up. So you want to take your chances with those guys coming up. So you don't give them a chance, not give them a chance by doing something silly at this point.
Absolutely. Don't need to force a turn if it's not there. Now short time. If Beasley gets a turn, a couple backs, he could potentially get a major, but Bonilla is just balling up and fighting it away.
Yep.
And so regardless, Beasley wins by decision 13-7. And that's a big win for the Knights. And we talked about it. This is the part of their lineup where they're the strongest.
Absolutely. And this is where, you come down to Rene Camacho and Anthony Gogolowski, right? These are the guys that you want out on your team. These are the guys you want out on your mat at this time for this situation to happen. So this is a great opportunity for somebody to become a hero and win a last-minute match for these guys.
So Rene Camacho, 12-6 record as a sophomore this year, won his last by pin, third at the Clayton Clipper Classic, and 5 wins by pin, 1 by tech fall. And then Andrew Gutkin will be his opponent. 11-8 record as a sophomore. Last match lost by tech fall, but has won 6 of his last 8. And very, very balanced opponent for both of these wrestlers today.
And again, as we mentioned, this is the heart of Sterling's lineup, but Haddon Heights has some of their better wrestlers at these weight classes too. With a 3-point match on the team score, it should be very interesting to see how this one shakes out.
So it'll be the Gutkin brothers against Camacho and Gogolski for the remainder of this match. And very, very good match between these two schools it's been tonight on this Friday Night Wrestling.
You couldn't ask for a better way to end these 2 matches right now. 33-30, 2 matches left, you're in it, and that's what these kids live for, right? You're giving yourselves a chance to win, and we knew this going in. It was going to be tough where we started. We were going to give up a little bit of a lead, but we knew if we could keep chipping away, we would have a chance. So Rene comes in as a very, very solid wrestler here. He's been working a long time. I coached his brother my first year. His brother was a senior my first year coaching here. So Rene's been around wrestling for a long time. So he very technical, and he's just kind of breaking Andrew down now, trying to see what he has. Good hand fighting.
And I mean, a very talented wrestler, third at the Clayton Clipper Classic. 5 of his 12 wins are by pin, 1 of them by tech fall, so that's about half of his 12 right there. You're getting about 5 to 6 points from Rene in half of his wins.
He has a very good high crotch to a double leg. And see there, as you momentum, as you push forward, there's that stall call. Rene is a very good high C to a double that he likes to hit. He's got to set it up with that inside left hand there.
And you saw on the replay the way he was trying to work to pop to get that high C, but was unable to do so because Gutkin worked himself out of bounds. He got hit with the stall, but now Gutkin had a single and lost it. Now went for the high C. Nice job by Camacho to fight out of both of those shots.
Yes, that's good shot defense. Now he's in some position here. He's got to try to look to score here. If he can drop down to a leg, that's 3 right there as he drug his feet to get the 3-point takedown.
Great mat awareness. We're going to take another look at it. You can see Camacho drag Gutkin back in to keep him in bounds so we can get the spin behind and the takedown. Fantastic mat awareness, as you pointed out, Coach.
And all you need is 1 foot in. So with the new out of bounds rule, as long as one supporting point of somebody's body is in, you keep wrestling. So it's a hand, it's a foot, doesn't matter, you're in bounds. So it was great. He dropped down to the legs, and he got that takedown. The big first takedown for these guys.
So about 15 seconds to go here in period number 1. Camacho with that 3-0 lead here over Gutkin. The first of 2 Gutkin brothers to try and close this one out here for the Garnets. It looks like time will waste here between these 2 wrestlers. Camacho looking for something late, but cannot get it. And that'll do it here for period number 1. Great match so far.
Yeah, it's been a good one. I mean, Camacho's done a good job of really setting the tone and wrestling at his own pace in this one. Done a good job. I mean, he has the takedown. That was fantastic mat awareness, as we saw.
And he got the stall call on Gutkin, so that is a huge momentum builder early on. At 1 more stall, and it's another point for Camacho.
So now, start of period number 2 here again. Camacho with that 3-0 lead. The team totals, Haddon Heights is at a 33 team total compared to Sterling's 30. So Sterling needs to win these next 2 to get the win.
Yes, and he's wrestling great on top right now. You'd like to see him work for a little bit of a turn here, but he's doing a great job. He's making Gutkin use a lot of energy. And he's using a lot of energy on bottom here to move. See how he keeps his foot in right there? That's continuing to move the clock. That's smart wrestling. That's great mat awareness to keep that foot in bounds to make that clock continue to run.
Yeah, like the headgear has the Mexican flag on the side of it. I think that is the Dominican Republic to the other side as well. So very stylish headgear there from Rene Camacho.
Good first move by Rene there. Keep the movement. That's what we talk about, keeping the weight forward on the opponent's hands, right? His weight is forward. He's moving forward. Gutkin has trouble getting his head off the mat right now. And if your head's on the mat, Jake, you know you're not getting up off the mat.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get your head off the mat and build his base up. But now Gutkin with another stall, so Camacho gets an extra point.
And this is why you stay on top. I mean, normally you might want to cut him and build a lead, but with the stall call, you can keep him on top, make him work. Gutkin is not trying to get off bottom right now. Rene's doing all the work, but he's also making Gutkin use a lot of energy. And if Gutkin keeps his head down here, the ref might hit him again soon for a third stall. So Rene's doing a great job. He's getting out to the side. He's not staying parallel. He's getting out to the side. He's working.
I mean, take a look
some moves.
I mean, you just saw it right there. I mean, Camacho just had Gutkin completely flat. Gutkin made no attempt to try and base back up. I mean, now he's trying to base back up, but I mean, you're seeing just Camacho dominate this match, and I think the stall calls are also a reflection of that.
100%. You know, you got 15 seconds here. You don't want to do anything that's going to get you in trouble. So just continue to keep the ride here. Don't score late. Another stall call right there, and it's right. Rene Camacho is doing all the work, and Gutkin is doing nothing. I know you saw Gutkin's face there, wondering why he had another stall, but you just got ridden out for 2 minutes, and you gave up 3 stall calls. So you got to try to move on bottom. And Rene was doing a great job making him look like he was doing something, and making Gutkin look like he wasn't doing anything.
I think.
Correct me if sorry,
go
Dan,
for
but
it.
correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. But if the fourth stall is worth an extra point, it's worth 2, right? So I believe that another stall here from Gutkin awards Camacho 2 points. Now he gets hit with a caution. He moves before the whistle.
Yeah, I think the wear and tear that Camacho is really causing him or Gutkin on the ground right now is doing a big favor for Camacho in the long run. So Camacho maybe even trying to look for a pin here in the third period.
That should have been another caution. They didn't call it right there. He slid his arm down the elbow. All right, so
he's got to get out, whether with an escape or a reversal, and then try and get a takedown or work a turn. But you can still see, I mean, Gutkin, he's starting to work a little more in this third period, but Camacho, his energy has not changed deep into this match.
No, Renee's got to be smart here, right? Gutkin looks like he's pretty comfortable in the top position. But Renee's got to be smart. Gutkin has to come to him, right? So right now you're at that 5-0 lead where if he can get to win by 8 or more, now you get an extra point. Right now you get that major.
We're going to take another look at this. They roll out of bounds, but you heard maybe on the crowd mic a couple of the Sterling members of the bench yell out, "Whoa," from that crossface from Gutkin, which was a little aggressive, and I couldn't see it from my angle if he balled a fist or not. We're going to take another look at it right here. You're going to see them roll out of bounds, and then you could even see the Heights coach yell, "Nothing stupid. Don't do anything like that."
It happened a little before that. And there's a great move. Now you got to hold him down.
Camacho, big moment.
Reverse half right here. It was great movement. He's got to fight him. He's losing that on, but he just got 3 takedown and 2 or 3 back. So now he's working on that major decision where you get an extra team point.
Yeah, he has the major. We're going to take a look at it right here. Explodes up off the whistle, gets his escape, and then gets the takedown.
Right in the back.
Gets him on his back, gets the 2 back points, and then they work themselves out of bounds. So a nice job by Gutkin to understand where they were on the mat. But, I mean, Camacho doing a great job of just controlling this match from the opening whistle, really.
And that's just the type of wrestler Camacho is from what I've seen, OD. And I think you as a coach can really expand on that more.
Yeah, it's just never stopping. All right, one of the things we tell him is never stop. Keep your feet moving. Right now you want to try to build this lead. You know, you might see Coach Dez put him neutral here in a second, or you might let him ride him out. We're going to see where we're at. But with under a minute left, we don't do anything silly. We got the major. If he keeps the score right here, Sterling was going to be up 34-33 going into the last match. Right, so whoever wins the last match is going to win this dual meet. So you would like to see Camacho continue to push the pressure, continue to work for a pin here. You don't want him to stop, so just continue to move, work for a pin. Gutkin knows his job is to not get pinned at this point and give his chin. Oh, right there they're saying he bit him. I'm not really sure if that happened, but he's trying to work it. Gutkin is continuing stalling. The ref might hit Gutkin here again for stalling soon. He got down on one knee.
Yeah, Gutkin's not moving. And, I mean, with Camacho raising his wrist like that, saying that he might have bit him, he has to keep his head in it, right? Short time here. Don't do anything that might cost you a couple points where you lose the major and then the match ends up being tied. Not that extra point means much going into the final match, but still nice to beat a guy 9-0.
Right, and exactly. You don't do anything silly at the end. You don't want to potentially lose a team point because they bit you or you do something silly out of character. So we are coming down
to the last match here. It'll be Anthony Gogolski.
If they do, I don't know what's going to happen. They're trying to show it on. I don't think it's going to happen here. They showed the referee that there were teeth marks on him.
So it'll be Anthony Gogolski here. And in just a moment, we're going to see who he's going against. And OD would like to chip him a little something.
There might be a team point deducted here if they called a bite of Gutkin on Camacho. So that's kind of a flagrant foul.
And then not only do you lose the match, you lose by major, then you give up a team point. So it's really like a tech win for Camacho because you lost the match and you lost your cool.
Correct. Now, and you've seen it's only going to make it 34-32, Jake. So whoever wins this match here is going to win the dual meet. Right? Even if you lose it now, you don't want to lose a team point for that. You don't want to lose a team point for anything, right? Especially sports like that was one of those that happened. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm not sure what they're really talking about at this point, but.
And as you point out, again, it doesn't matter in the grand team score.
So now the last match here. It's going to be Gogolski versus Gutkin. this biggest match of the night, and it looks like Sterling is up by 3 total points.
So I don't know. I think Sterling was awarded
I think they
a point.
DQ'd him. They DQ'd him and gave him a pin because it was 27. No, it was 33-30. They DQ'd him. They DQ'd him for the bite, which gave us a pin.
Wow.
So that is a crazy change of momentum right there. So it still doesn't really want to change anything, right? Gogo wants to go out and get the win, but if Gogo loses by decision, now the match is tied, and it goes to what is called criteria. And criteria determines who wins in a tiebreaker. Hopefully don't have to get there because that is going to be crazy to explain to everybody on TV. But that's a great start, great takedown.
Great part.
Yep. That was an accident, guys.
Getting started here early. 8-3 senior wrestler in his senior match. I mean, to win this for the Knights, his last match he won by pinfall. 6 wins by pin with a plethora of teams, but definitely has a great opponent going against him. Jacob Gutkin, 99 record as a senior. Last match lost by tech fall, but he has 2 wins by pin this year, which is really what the Garnets need right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a decision here for Haddon Heights leaves it up for both teams by chance. If Gogolski just comes out and wins, the match is decided. So right now, I mean, nothing changes for Gogo out here. It just has to go out and get a win by any means possible, and he's trying to do just that already with an early 3-0 lead.
Correct, and you don't ever want to leave anything up to the criteria because it can get so far down in the criteria order that when I was coaching at another school before here, we went down to like criteria H, which was first point scored in the match, or first point scored per match, and we won because the kid that got an early takedown, but then got pinned, won the match for us because he got the first takedown in the match. So it's one of those, you never want to leave it up to silly takedowns like that.
But now Gogo.
This is great. This is huge. Great for senior night right here. If Gogo can hold him,
Gogo in a really good spot here.
And there it is, and that's a huge, that's a pin. Sterling gets a big win on senior night.
Are you not entertained? Anthony Gogolski finishing this one off against the Garnets, and Sterling will get the win on senior night.
And you know what, that's great because Gogo came out as a freshman and sophomore, right? Didn't come out as a junior to wrestle, and then, you know what, missed it so much that he said, I want to come back out senior year. And you know what, that's what happens when you come back out. We were very happy that Gogo decided to come back out and wrestle for the team this year. And you know what, it paid off for him to be one of his highlights of his high school career right there, and for his teammates to finish that win.
Came down to the last match, and we kind of knew that as this match went along, and it came down to Gogolski against Butkin, and Gogolski comes out with the pin early in this one to win it for the Knights on senior night. And Sterling, both teams gave up a couple weights, but Sterling gave up 2 forfeits at 106 and 113. Haddon Heights had a forfeit, and it came down to just the last match, and Gogolski comes out and wins it big time, puts up 6, gets the pin.
So that'll do it here on Sterling Channel 19. What a night, as the senior night is capped off by the senior Anthony Gogolski getting the final pin here against the Haddon Heights Garnets. 42-33 the final score. Post-game show to follow with a couple of the Knights. We'll be back in just a moment.
What made you become a bully?
Twerk! Twerk! Whoa, nice one, man. You should start hanging with me.
Okay.
Yo, Danny, look at this. Go show him who's boss.
Hey.
Huh? Danny, go to VPO. No!
Well, you know, Mr. Jericho, I guess it started with peer pressure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here at senior night. 42-33, the final score. And first, it's going to be Anthony Gogolski. Now, Gogo, last match, had the opportunity. Well, you were up by 3, but you had the opportunity to really put it away for Sterling, and you did it. How do you feel?
Dan, it feels great. I came out. I had one job. I had to win that match. So I made sure I came out with maximum efficiency, and I was ready to win, and I wanted the pin. You got to go out there ready to kill that opponent. That's what I went out there to do, and that's what I did.
Now, Ant, when Rene was in his match, I saw Coach Wiggins talking to you personally, and what was kind of going through your head? What was he saying to you, kind of get you locked in and ready for that match?
Coach Des was just telling me to go be a senior. This is your year. He told me to go out there and show me what I can do. He told me to bring in the 6, bring in the win. Told me to lock in, and that really locked me in whenever Coach Des talks to me. And shout out Nico Jeline for giving me some advice on that sideline too.
Now, Gogo, to do it with this group of kids, do it with your brothers out there, how does it feel to get such a big win over a division rival, and that really propels you into a good spot for PowerPoints?
It feels great. It's always a mixed match with Haddon Heights. It's a great match. We won. It was close all match. We had a lot of forfeits this match, which put us behind, but we didn't care about that. We still wrestled every match as hard as we can with the guys we had, and we came out with the win.
Gogo, thank you for coming on, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it.
Next, it'll be Rene, who can come to my right. Now, Rene, a sophomore, had a very tough match, fought till the very, very end, and you come out with a big win. How does it feel?
It feels amazing, I came back from this weekend because I should have won matches that I lost, especially against Collinswood. I should have went to the third period with him, and I got pinned in the first, and this guy went to the second, and I wrestled this guy with all my heart, and I managed to beat him. But with Matt, I look forward to seeing him in districts.
Now, Rene, just give us a little bit of what was kind of going into your game plan, because you seem to control the ground game very, very well against your opponent.
I just didn't want to have a hard practice the next day if I would have lost. So, but just to feel hype, and like I said, to get my get back. And the guy, I just could tell, I wrestled him since middle school, and I beat him every time. But he's gotten better, I will say that. I'm not able to pin him as much, but like I said, what's up, Desi? Like I said, he was just, I was physically and mentally, I was more prepared than he was.
Now, Rene, to do it with this group of seniors, talk about, your mentors and people who have really helped you, take the necessary steps along the way.
I'd like to shout out my coaching staff. They pushed me to my absolute limit. I'm being serious. I couldn't even get up after practice. Kenny, Gogo, Farrier, Beasley, I'm going to miss them so much. They genuinely took me in under their wing, especially Kenny. I've been his wrestling partner since last year, and now this year. I don't wrestle him as often, but when it comes to live in situations, me and him go at it with all we can.
Rene, congratulations, brother. Thank you very much. Next, it'll be Declan Winters. Now, Declan, when we were finishing up here on the broadcast and it kind of cut into commercial, O'Donnell said you won the game. You won this match for your team. How does that feel, to have those words said about you?
It's a team sport. Everybody puts everything in, and everybody contributes in their own way.
And you kind of going into this one, knew you kind of had a split match. This one could really go either way, and you took control. And, to do that for you here in your sophomore season, how does that feel for you?
It feels good. I was just trying to get the win for my team so we can win the duel.
And to win the duel against a division rival, how does it feel for the program, for something you've been in for so long?
It feels good. We are a really young team, and I want to see how we go in the future.
And Declan, just a word about some of the seniors. These guys have built you up as years and years have gone by. What are some things you have to say about the guys that are going to be exiting after this year?
They're great. I grew up with Kenny and Gogo. I was wrestling with them through KGWA. They're great wrestlers, great guys. Nothing more to say.
Declan, congratulations, brother. Thank you very much for coming on. Next, someone who's been waiting for his interview for quite some time, JB's, for a very, very long time. Had a shoulder injury. It kind of took you out for a little bit, but came in here, took care of business. How are you feeling today, Bees?
Well, I got it kept in on a mat return, illegal move, came down. Doctor told me, he said, listen, man, you tore a couple ligaments in your shoulder, but if you can be a dog and tough it out, those ligaments won't stop you from wrestling. And I said, sometimes you got to be a dog.
So you were definitely a dog on the mat tonight. Give us a little insight of how it was to be out there with your opponent today.
So, I don't like to do research on an opponent. The way that I think is, hey, he puts on his singlet, I put on my singlet. It's kind of a disrespect to me to step out on the mat with me, and you got to show him that sometimes. But today, I did a little research, had to figure out who I was wrestling, and I said, you know what, this is an opponent I can definitely run with today, and run with I did.
And, you know, John, you've been in this program for quite some time. This is a year where you really dialed in and took it serious. And, you know, what are some words you have to say about Coach Des, you know, that your teammates that you ride or die with here at Sterling?
Coach Des, I mean, he's right here behind me, is one of my favorite guys. If, you know, he doesn't care who you are, he'll take you in, take you under his wing. And, you know, he is just one of the most nicest, caring, hardworking. I mean, he's only been the head coach in this place for, what, 3 years. We got a good program. Look at him. We got a good program. We're a young team, but we do have some older guys like me, Kenny, you know, Renee, even though he's only a sophomore. Renee's one of my favorite guys, has been wrestling for 11 years, and he really shows out. We got this guy too. You know, we all, you know, when it's time to show out, we show out no matter whether you've just been wrestling for a year. We got a kid, his name's Mason Marvin, never wrestled before, showed out and got a couple varsity wins for us. Doesn't matter how young we are, we fight like dogs.
John, congratulations, buddy. Thank you for coming on. Next, someone who had a little bit of a forfeit today, but did want to come on here for his senior night, Kenny McCardle. Ken, to watch your boys go out, get this win, how does it feel?
Yeah, you know, it's great. You know, nothing new with Haddon Heights ducking on senior night. It's more of a ritual for them at this point. I don't know what the point was. I guess it was a momentum thing. I guess they just wanted to see a pin and then not see their guy get pinned, and then for the rest of the match. But, you know, it was a great match for us. Glad to come out for the win on senior night. Glad for everyone to be here.
And Ken, just a little bit on a more personal note, you're having yourself a great season. How are you feeling about, you know, the stuff that's coming for you ahead?
You know, 15-4 right now. Can't complain. I'm a little upset with all the forfeits I'm getting. I don't understand the point. I'm happy with the teams I wrestled, you know. Just looking for a good year, looking for a good postseason, you know.
And you've been a part of this program all 4 years, and you've just making so many steps along the way. I mean, tell us about, you know, how you've done, you know, your improvements, how you've, you know, worked with your coaches, your teammates. Just give us a little scope on you, you know, one of the star wrestlers on this Sterling squad.
Yeah, you know, I've been doing this for a while. I didn't start taking it serious until maybe 8th grade. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I didn't start taking it serious until, you know, 6 years into it. It sucks. I wish I started taking it more serious sooner. Maybe I could be a lot better than I am right now. Maybe I could be going a lot farther than I am right now. But, you know, all we got is the present. Like I said last time, all we got is the present and what is now. So we just got to work and improve on that, you know.
Ken, congrats on your forfeit. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. On your senior night, big dog. And then last but certainly not least, it'll be Coach Wiggins. Coach Wiggins, you stand on my right. That would be amazing. Yes, thank you very much.
Not liking the jersey. I do like the jersey, but I don't like the jersey, but it's okay.
No, I know you don't like the jersey. It's okay. 49ers fan over here.
This year. But okay.
Anyway, we don't want to bring up that. We want to bring up what happened on the mat today. And, I mean, great showing from your team today. How are you feeling?
I feel great, man. I'm glad. Happy for the seniors, man. It was pretty cool to have a senior to go out, finish the match up, man, and win. So it was, you know, we were down 33-6. You know, and wrestling is funny. You can look at a score and think it's really bad, but then we kind of figured we would be down early. We just want to look at the numbers and see where we were. And me and the coaches just kind of looked at each other and said, man, we can run the table, and we did.
And, you know, talk about a couple of momentum-shifting matches. First, the one with Declan, and he really kind of turned the tide for you guys. I mean, what were your thoughts as that match was going on?
So it was unique because that kid is their 44-pounder, decent wrestler. Joel wrestled him earlier this year, beat him by a decision, and so they thought that they could bump him and possibly beat Declan. And Declan just, man, that last 5 seconds, man, he just gutted it out, man. Like, that's a hard, like, if you've ever wrestled before, that is a hard position to not get taken down, and that was just all gut from him. And, you know, he wrestled hard and he did his job.
And then another one that I'm going to bring up, Renee's fight, which really got you guys an extra 3 points, and he was just controlling the ground game most of that time. And similar question, what were your thoughts as that one was going on as well?
I thought Renee wrestled phenomenal on top. Of course, always I get on him all because the kids I get on a lot, I see the potential. So I get him a lot on how he was getting ready in the first period and things like that. But he eventually got to a second period, third period, started doing what he's supposed to do, and finished the job.
And then just one word about, you know, this group of seniors, a lot of guys that you're really tight with. I mean, on the way out, what do you have to say about those guys?
I mean, I love all these kids, man. But this senior group, man, like always, it's I'm getting out to the kids that, like even guy behind the camera here, I'm getting to those kids that I've kind of known for like 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade. So it's more emotional because I've known them before high school and I've seen them wrestle, seen them grow. So it's like bittersweet, you know what I mean? That they're becoming men, and I couldn't be more prouder of them.
Coach Des, go Birds. Thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm going to send it back to my good buddy, Jake Clark, in the booth.
Thank you, Dan. Tremendous job on the post game as always. Our next TV game here on Sterling Channel 19 is Tuesday, January 28th. It'll be girls basketball. Sterling taking on Woodbury. You can get that game live on Channel 19 or on YouTube at youtube.com/SterlingTV19. So the Knights win it by a score of 42-33 here against the Haddon Heights Garnets on senior night. I'm Jake Clark along with Dan Leakin here in the booth signing off. And as always, go Knights.